Hi guys, and welcome back to this journey towards excellent exam results. In these shorter revision videos, we are going to be breaking down different concepts within the GCSE Geography specification. The aim of this is to help us understand the concepts better and to give us the information and confidence we need to answer exam questions. In today's video, we are going to discuss how we can reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. Okay, let's get started. So how can we reduce our reliance on fossil fuels here in the UK? So we've divided this into two, and the first one is how we can reduce our reliance on fossil fuels at home, and then the second one is has to do with improving transport in London. So at home, what can we do? There are several things that we can do, but to begin with, we'll talk about the UK government. And homes in the UK are now being built, obviously, with energy efficiency and conservation in mind. And the government has also offered the Green Deal to UK homeowners. So this involves loans and grants to help homeowners install energy efficient boilers, double glazing, wall cavity insulation, and solar panels. So those are very good ways of reducing the energy consumption in homes. Now, if you're using double glazing, that means that you do not have to use as much heating in the winter because that double glazing is going to prevent the cold from coming into the house. And a similar situation with the wall cavity insulation. Now, the way the walls are built here in the UK, you actually have a set of two walls, and in between those two walls, there's a cavity. So there's a space in between them. Now, that cavity can be insulated. You can pump some material into that cavity so as to insulate it and to prevent the cold from coming into the house, which again means that you will have lower heating bills and you'll have a lot more energy efficiency. Then we have solar panels as well, so you're using renewable energy. So there are other things that you can do in your house as well. You can use LED lights, lighting, for example. And those LED lights obviously are consuming less energy. You can use AAA rated appliances, for example. Those ones do the same job. So if it's a dishwasher, when you go to buy one, you'll see that it will have an energy efficiency rating. So if it's AAA rated, then it will be one that does the job but without using that much energy. So that's another thing you could use. Then you could use lighting that has motion sensors outside the house. So meaning that instead of having security lights that are on the entire night, that those lights only come on when there's motion. They sense motion on the outside part of the house. So that will help obviously keep the costs of energy a lot lower. So there's a lot that you can do or we can do in our homes to reduce our energy, our carbon footprint. This picture here is gives you a lot more information. So at some point maybe you can pause the video and have a look at it. So how then have we tried to improve London's transport? So I've put 6 things here that we are going to quickly discuss, and one of them is VED. So VED is basically the system that taxes vehicles here in the UK. Now, before we would have a tax disc, but we no longer have one, but every vehicle still has to be taxed. Now, this here VED stands for Vehicle Excise Duty, and it's the tax you pay on your car, and this will depend on the carbon emissions that car produces. And the higher the emissions that your car produces, the higher the tax you're going to pay on your car. And the government does that so that they can try and encourage more people to buy fuel efficient cars. So, and especially like the electric cars, a lot of them you don't have to pay any tax on. So the idea is to encourage more and more people to use to use electric cars or cars that are a lot more energy efficient. And I would say this is more of a national strategy on the part of the government and not just London, because this covers the entirety of the UK. Then we have the second strategy to improve London's transport, which is the congestion charging. And this is where you're charged a fee to go into the center of London, into central London. Now, that obviously is to try and dissuade drivers from going to central London. So instead of driving in, to either take a train or some other form of transport or a bus, because that has a lot more passengers and therefore the carbon footprint is not as high. So that's congestion charging. So you're charged a fee to go into the center of London. And then we have ULEZ, which is the entirety, which covers the entirety of London. So once you get inside, once you're inside the M25, then you will pay a ULEZ charge if your car does not meet the requirements for traveling free within this ULEZ zone. So ULEZ stands for ultra low emission zone. So your car has got to be to have very low emissions for it to qualify for zero fees when you go into London. And not just central London, but to any part of London. So again, that is a way of reducing congestion in London and also reducing pollution and making London a more sustainable city. Then we have hybrid buses. Now, hybrid buses use both diesel and electric. So they are hybrid. They are using both types of fuel, and they are a lot more efficient, obviously, than just the ones that use diesel. Right, and they're also environmentally friendly, so they are sustainable. They're a sustainable way of getting around London. Then London has also increased the number of charging points for electric cars, obviously to encourage more and more people to use them. So that's another strategy that has been used. And then lastly, we have the cycling or the cycle schemes. We have the Santander bikes and we have the Lime bikes as well. So all these are to encourage people. And as well, the bikes here, you are encouraged obviously to use a bike when you are moving around London. Other than using a vehicle, you use a bike. It's healthy and it's environmentally friendly as well. So it's a form of sustainability, which is really important, and I think works really well. That brings us to the end of this video on how we can reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. I hope that you have found the information insightful and useful. I have also done a video covering the whole of topic 9 on consuming energy resources. It will pop up as one of the suggested videos at the end of this one and can also be found on the Consuming Energy Resources playlist. Videos on all the other subtopics within this topic are also in that playlist. Thanks once again for joining in this journey towards excellent exam results. All the best and see you again soon. Bye-bye.